Hi guys, what are we going to do today? Well, I showed you a quick idea on this using your CD cases and doing some fun 3D framed art. So I think today we're going to get a little more in depth on this, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is find a CD case, a clear CD case. So measure your inside, the back side, and decide what color background you want in your piece. I'm going with this black. So I am actually just going to use extra strength glue stick. Probably any glue stick would work, or any type of glue you want to use would probably work just fine on this. So I'm putting this on the inside of the back of the case and just gluing this down. So I pulled out a few pieces I have. You can find tags, cards, print images from online. From the last one, we just took a photograph. So you can add anything you want. Or you could add a key or anything you can think of, as long as it's not thicker than this. Because when you close this, you still have that little bit of room there that something can stand up. I'm gonna put a mold over this right here. So I want things to be a little more centered, because the top will have a mold and right on this strip will have a mold. And I'm just using my glue stick once again to get these in here. Now the easiest way to do this I found is find lots and lots of fun elements and colors and things you like. Play with them, set them in there to get a feel for what you think you might want to use. Because when you've glued them down, it's really tough to get it back out. Now I do want to add this branch, but some of it's kind of thick. I'm going to break it apart a little bit, take some of the leaves off and re-glue them on. Just to lay flat. And I'm going to use a heavier duty glue for this. I think I know where I want all of this. I am going to glue my back pieces down. So when you line it all up, you can always just take a photo too real quick with your phone or something, so you kind of remember where you put them. So I am going to glue this to here, and you're going to need a heavier glue. I'm going to use this Tight Bond, and it is actually a wood glue, and it will dry clear. And I'm just going to hold it down. Okay, now that I've got this to at least set a tad bit, I'm gonna put a little bit of glossy accents over this, just over some of the edges, and it will kind of seal it in place when it dries. And I'm just taking a brush, so it's not quite as thick, but it's gonna make it a little more durable. I'm gonna just take a little bit of my excess glossy accents and just a little bit over my florals. It'll give them just a tad bit of a shine. So while this is setting, I think what I will do is work on the molds I'm gonna put on the outside of the case. So I'm not going to shut it right now, but I can see that I'm gonna put my mold right here and right on the top of this. So at this point, while this is drying, I could carefully unclip my case and work on this top piece. So I'm gonna work on my molds. I'm gonna go with this and put it across the bottom and across the top. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put some cornstarch in here. I'm using air dry clay, and I'm using my IOD clay, but you can use whatever you would like. The only thing you need to remember is you need to seal it immediately. Roll your mold. He's going to go there. I'm going to let it set for a sec. And I'm going to do another one of these for the top. Sometimes when they're really, really thin, you just have to have a little patience and take your time getting it out. I'm just going to roll it into a little snake, push it in. And one thing nice about these molds is that they're a little deeper, so it feels like your piece is a little more substantial. You could use a putty knife for this, but I find my fingers work just as well, if not better. Once again, I'm gonna roll the mold and let gravity do its thing and help it come out. I'm gonna do it the opposite way at the top. We'll do a little bird, and maybe the bird could go. It's just very tiny. I carefully just see how I feel about that. You know what? I think that is adorable. So I am gonna glue these down there. So I'm gonna carefully glue these down. Okay, we need to let this dry. I am just gonna paint these in this light green over this. I let all my glossy accents dry, and you don't really need to do anything else in the inside. I'm adding just a little bit of clear wax over this. I'm using some clear wax, trying to be mindful that I don't get too much on my plastic. So after I've added my light wax and my dark wax, I'm gonna buff it just very, very lightly and add just a little shimmer of gold wax. Carefully, we are going to highlight with a little bit of gold wax on here. And actually, you really just wanna do what you want to do. I mean, you don't need to use a lot of colors. You could use one simple mold in one color. I just wanted this all to tie together with the greens and the pinks and these yellows. So this gold kind of brings that out. I decided I wanted to add a fun color on the two sides. So I'm just gonna glue to the edge here. So I know I need about that much. I'll cut it a little bigger. And this is just sari silk, and I just got a color that kind of coordinated with what I'm doing. And any excess I'll just trim off here when I'm done. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. As you can see, this one's very simple. All I did is glue black paper on the back, add a photograph, glued in a key, and just took one mold, cut it in half, and glued it on top and bottom. This one we thought we'd get a little more artistic with. But, you know, you can see how simple you can make it or how ornate you can make it, but it's just using the CD cases you probably have around. So whatever you guys do, hope you have fun.